paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying, I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brainstorm Brewery. I am joined this week by two of my three best co-hosts. Cass and Jason are here with me. I'm Corbin Hostler. Welcome into the show. DJ is currently lost in the back roads of Pennsylvania, if I understand it correctly.
They crushed his car into a cube again.
I like the again. I forgot about that. That is a thing that happened to him on a trip, huh?
You know what he forgot? His car keys.
So yeah, DJ, all I know is we heard, guys, I got an emergency collection bag I have to go do. And then the next update was, car's stuck. It got repaired wrong. Everything's melting.
Oh, he threw his father-in-law right under the bus.
Oh, yeah. He's like hoping for a free roll.
And that bus was melting. Yeah. So,
Yeah, speaking of the bus, he's going to be taking the bus for a while, huh?
Heyo.
bad time for DJ, good time for us. I played
You got
in a
25 grand for a
pre-release.
card robot. I'm not really worried then. Can you imagine him not having money for a car payment?
I got the I for the first time in my life I got a fancy new car. I have a fancy minivan now. It has a vacuum in the back. It has a DVD player, but you can also plug any HDMI into it and make it a switch
Wow.
port in the back.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Man, it's going to be... When you wreck that thing in a year on your birthday, you're going to be so disappointed.
You're right. I am. I have thought about that. About how tragic it would be to lose all the cool stuff. It has an air seat cooler. You know how there's seat warmers. It has a seat cooler.
Let's just blast air up your butt.
Blows air right on up your butthole. It's great.
I do not need that.
Oh, you
In
want it,
Michigan,
though.
I dedefinitely need a seat warmer.
I got both. It's
You
amazing.
can blow hot air too.
It's great. Just saying, it's pretty cool. So, speaking of, I was thinking while DJ was gone over the weekend, he was having his problems. Like, I played in a pre-release. It was fun, but I had a little bit of trouble shuffling the cards, given this thumb injury that I have. It turns out that after I sliced open my thumb and lost a lot of feeling by cutting open the nerve and all that stuff, it's really difficult to feel the cards while I'm thumbing through them now.
Ooh.
And it's really bad for my speedrunning career. But on the other hand,
What game?
Mario 64.
Mario 64?
Obviously.
Really?
Of course.
What's your 16 star time?
Okay, whoa. You can't just like ask somebody their 16 star time like that.
Everybody who's ever owned that game was a 16 star time.
Okay, but mine
Mine is several minutes.
I'm in the learning phase. Okay,
I think mine's
so
like over 35 minutes or something. I don't actually remember, but it's been
I
forever.
haven't tried to run 16 star, but I do just grind my Bowser Reds over and over again. Okay, but the problem is I can't feel this part of your finger. You need that for game controllers, and I can't feel it. Okay, so that sucks. But on the other hand, I picked up something really hot the other day, just completely unbothered. Need to pop like a tab or something, and it's like a little sore. Nope, just boom. So like, is it a superpower?
Yeah.
It's a super callus.
Yeah.
My fingertips
But
are
sometimes
basically
if you
burned
have a
off.
super callus, it could end up fragile. You can't put on lipstick.
Shut up, Jason.
You won't get any EXP.
No,
I'm gonna
Jason.
do it for real this time, guys. I have like no feeling in my fingertips from cooking. I was like making fish on like my 5th date or something with my fiance, and I like just grab the fish in the pan and flip it or whatever. Just like doesn't hurt. It's fine.
Yeah, if you can't feel it, what's the point, really? Look, your body can take much more damage than your nerves would lead you to believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pain is good.
Pain is fake.
Pain is fake, but it's like your brain screaming at you, don't touch that! And that's very useful.
Well, welcome in to Brainstorm Brewery, everybody. I'm sure we'll have DJ back next week. I at least got to do a pre-release. I'm not sure. I know Cass was working a show over the weekend, but we've got all your favorite segments, and we've got some deep dives here on Commander and Commander variants, and we're going to seek to answer the question, what is the next Commander? So welcome into Brainstorm Brewery. All right, let's start things off with the pre-release. I got to play. It was my first pre-release since before the pandemic. I think 4 years since I've actually gone and done one. Cass, what were you up to over the weekend? You were working but not playing?
Yeah, I was working at the TOA Magic booth in Richmond. I was the in-house serialized card buyer. I think I bought 7 or 8 of them.
Cool.
The best one I bought was a Ragavan with a number that I don't remember because we sold it instantly.
What's the
Is it to 500 or 400?
500.
So that could be a 420. They knew what they were doing.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, yeah.
Someone
420
opened
would be
Elishnorn
very
420,
popular.
actually.
Oh my god.
Is there? Do you see?
I would
many...
light that car on fire and become a legend. Sorry, I had to blaze it.
Do you see many serialized cards over the course of a weekend? Are people asking for serialized cards or anything?
Well, the event was a pre-release also, so people were opening lots of packs. There was a lot of hype. People were opening collector boxes. I think I probably saw 12 come through the booth. I offered on all of them, but I only got 8 of them, so someone else beat me on the offers. For things like serialized cards, you kind of just have to shoot and guess. Like, we don't really know what they're worth until we know what they're worth, so...
Yeah.
I think a couple of them I overpaid on, a couple of them I underpaid on. It all kind of averages out.
Jason, did you get any March of the Machine on, or were you blissfully
I had a
magic
COVID
free?
exposure.
Oh,
so
no. Okay.
I isolated and I mask inside my own house around my children. And it's great.
Very fun.
I don't have to hug them. Don't have to put them to bed. I get to sleep in the basement and not be bothered by my wife's cold feet.
Man,
She has pathologically cold feet. She has something called Raynaud's disease, where you don't have a ton of circulation.
Wait,
like
isn't that
Corbin,
the
where he
magic?
cut all his nerves.
No, that's the Magic cheater who started the Hearthstone team, right?
Oh, Kid Magic? He loves it when you call him
Raynad?
Kid Magic.
Raynad?
Yeah, Kid Magic. He loves it when you call him Kid Magic.
Big cheater. Sorry, Jason. That's related to your wife's feet, I think.
I do like that
Definitely.
Jason's just like, my sick wife is annoying, and I like sitting in my man cave. You're really doing the, like, white man,
Boomer
like, late
humor,
30s
baby.
comedian. You're
Boomer
really getting into your
humor, there
comedian
you go.
side.
Take my wife, please.
So you get the full experience, though. It's like being in college. You got the dorm downstairs, and you're just hanging out.
My best hunk is 10 minutes about Liliana's birth, and I always open with it. And there involves a fisting joke. It's real intense. It's so good. Just everybody's like, "Oh man, are straight people okay?" And I'm like, "I'm not finished. I'm your feature. I'm doing 25. Buckle up, faces."
Oh,
I
man,
do
good
not
for
miss
you.
comedy. I haven't done comedy in 3.5 years. I don't
So it's like
really
a pre-release for you. Next time you go back.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the pre-release. After 3 rounds, I thought maybe I'd want to play one more, but then I left and I was like, I'm glad I didn't play anymore. So 3 rounds, I think, is my new pre-release limit. I had a good time. I went 2-1. I played against someone who had 4 companions in their deck, because apparently we're playing Ikoria sealed or something like that. All I know is there was a Garuda, and then there was a Karuga, then there was a Luris. And I think there might have been a Gigantha in there. I don't know. It was a lot.
Is this like Mambo number 6 or something? Like, you just list just a bunch of companions?
I really wish the finance community didn't have to know all these names that all sound the same.
You think
Man,
that-
I'm really excited for the new Glup Shido serialized card.
Yeah, but also, there's a Glub Shido, but there's a Glub Shit I and a Glub Shit E, and I'm like,
Well, yeah, because they're all part of the Shitty clan.
no, they're not even related. It's like one
What?
card from one set and like a complete.
One of them's
There's
a
like an
planeswalker and
octopus
caught
named
them all.
Glub Shido, and then 2 years later, there's like a monkey named Glub Shit A, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Well, here's the thing.
It's Halar and Halal and Hallel and oh my god!
Just to
stop
make it a little less confusing. This weekend they gave out pre-release promos that you weren't allowed to play.
In addition to your other promo.
They also gave you pre-release promos you were allowed to play for maximum clarity.
Somebody in an event at the Richmond event in round 2 just like played a slime foot and squee, and their opponent had to be like, Judge?
Yeah.
Such a feel bad.
But it's crazy.
Zebeck's
6
tweeted
years
about
ago,
that
that
as
was
well.
the norm. It was just like,
Yeah.
here's a promo, don't play it. And everyone's
10
like,
years,
okay.
10
It
years
was
ago.
10 years ago.
Okay.
Or 15, but yes.
But yeah.
5 years, but the COVID years don't count. So it was
I
5 years
understand.
before 2020.
No, I knew where you were going with that. I
Yeah,
agree.
2015, 5 years ago.
I think it was Return to Ravnica in 2012 when they
Can you
started letting
believe
play
that
the promos,
1993 was 20
No.
years ago?
man.
It's,
It's really adds
can
up.
you believe that?
Time flies, you know.
Time flies. It's been 20 years already.
You know, that is the one thing you're talking about. You got a COVID exposure. You can't leave your house for 4 days. Those were kind of the days, you know.
2013, I still like doing this podcast.
I was just going to...
Corbin shaved.
I was just going to say that, you know, the beginning of COVID, I didn't have to do anything. I had no social responsibilities. I sat in my house, and it was amazing, and no one could make me leave.
I
I
just
made
played
pasta and
Animal
drank White Claws
Crossing
every night.
drank, and cashed $2,000 checks. That was what I did for like a year. And everyone's like, I hate COVID. And I'm like, fuck yeah. What movies are on HBO Max after 15 minutes after they come out? Yeah. This is the life. And we went back. Why did we go back? There are people who like, we're going back to the office now. That, why do you have an office? You paid rent on an empty office building for 2 years to make people miserable later. And
Do you want
make
the real
them
answer or
come
the
back.
joke
Are
answer?
you shitting me? I don't know, man.
The real
What?
answer is because, like, you know, corporate landlords lobbied a bunch for, like, a propaganda campaign to get businesses to keep their offices because it's good for employees. Like, what do you want me to say?
All right,
I mean-
next up. So I have to say, before we move on to Breaking Bulk, something Cass and I were talking about before the show. There is a lost art to the Decklist photo. And from what Cass was telling us about Pokemon, Magic is falling behind.
Yeah. Magic
So
players
the
are so
Magic,
stuffy.
they have the extreme knolling the Japanese pros do, where they like line that shit up perfectly.
And that's
And it's just
fine.
all like, it looks like
those.
it's
But,
on
like,
Arena. And like
that art?
that is an aesthetic. I love that they put so much into like
Well, Cass, what were you saying the Pokemon players are up to?
Well, so, like, what you're talking about, Jason, is, like, you know, some sort of minimalism or, like, it's fine. But, like, Pokemon players are lying down for a nap, having their deck list laid out on their body, and then taking a picture. Or they're drinking 60 cans of Dr. Pepper to lean one card up against each empty can. My favorite one
objectively
was
better.
the guy. He laid it out on a glass table and then pressed his face against the glass underneath and had his friend press his feet next to that. That was a good one.
I know a standard trash
nice.
bag will hold 72 Dr. Pepper cans
That's a...
because I live in Michigan. That's $7.20, baby.
So
It's almost 2 booster packs with inflation.
Listen, people, I realize that everybody doesn't know this. In Michigan, you pay 10 extra cents when you buy anything carbonated.
Okay.
And you go to a room in the grocery store and there's a machine with like a conveyor belt, and you put each can on the conveyor belt and it tells you how many cans you have, and then it gives you 10 cents for each can you bring back. And people like, I had, like, the rest of the country, they don't have deposit, so that sounds insane. But like,
Weird.
if someone throws a pop can away in front of me, I'm like, that's 10 cents. Be like, I'm in Philadelphia, and no, it's not. So
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but I'm gonna imagine we don't do a ton of that around here.
yep,
So.
72 cans will fit in a bag.
Good to know. All right, well, let's move on to the segment without DJ here. I am the undisputed champion of It's Breaking Bulk.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
All right, it's time for Breaking Bulk, and before I give you the Breaking Bulk you're never going to get, I want to give a shout out to mtgstocks.com, the place where all of you should go for your Magic finance information. The premium
And
side
my
of the website has it all.
articles.
And Jason's article. Is this
I
a teaser?
am joining the MTG Stocks team because nothing against MTG Price, but MTG Stocks is working real hard on partnering with EDH Rec. We're doing some stuff together, and it didn't make sense not to be on the team I was trying to promote. So yeah, I know that MTG Stocks doesn't want it publicly known. But they're like, if you could write under a pseudonym and not tell anybody, that would be great.
Like,
But I'm spilling the beans anyway.
Well, there you go. Breaking news here on
Breaking news on Breaking Bulk.
That's right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Chiron starts rolling. Jason Alt breaks legal news. I know the Chirons
all right.
don't talk, but
I'm going to jump in here with a Rivals of Ixalan Black Uncommon.
is this the $18 guy, the Pitiless Plunderer?
It is not. That card is
the
ridiculously expensive.
Is it the Pirate Orc guy?
Nope.
So it's definitely a vampire. I'm fishing for
vampire?
information.
I remain undisputed the best Breaking Bulk player.
I'm
like I
trying to see
invented
the
the game or
reflection in
something.
your glasses.
Yeah, it's like I invented the game or something.
Hold still.
So good at it.
I don't know any cards in this set because this set
Just
sucks
look at
so
the card.
much.
Just look at the card for a second.
I'm typing it in. They shouldn't need any more thing more.
No, I'm looking at the reflection in your glasses. I feel like I can almost see the.
I'm just gonna cheat a little bit. It's fine.
Is it a creature or non-creature?
It's a creature.
It's a black Rivals creature that's worth picking out a bulk. Is it the knight?
Nope.
Is it the Pirate Tutor?
Nope.
Is
I
it
guess so.
I'm just looking through all the black uncommons from Rivals of Ixalan.
It's rival. Oh, geez, I was thinking right. Excellent.
Is it? It's not Chupacabra, is it?
No, there's no way it's Chupacabra.
Yeah.
If it is, you're fired from this game.
It's a ravenous chupacabra.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
We didn't say that because it was.
You didn't say
Hey
that.
guys, you should pick swords to plowshares out of bulk. I'm undisputed.
Ravenous Chupacabra is not even the most expensive black uncommon in the set. And Ravenous Chupacabra, at times in its life, has barely been a pick because of how cheap it was. The card was like 30 cents for a long time and was barely a pick. However, the card is now 75 cents and a pick. It's not been reprinted in a hot minute.
What's the most expensive black uncommon in Rivals of Ixalan, Corbin?
Pitiless Plunderer. It's $12.
Cass respects you so little, she said Piteous Plunderer.
Yeah, like I mean, I also respected him little enough to say Chupacabra. So
Yeah. I never would have said Chupacabra. I would have said every
There's
other
also,
fucking
like-
card in the set.
I mean, I only
said
got there because
Chupacabra.
I cheated, and the other 4 black uncommons are no shot worth anything. So that's the only reason I got there. Is I was like, what card could be dumb enough for Corbin to pick here?
It's
Another
Skull Clamp!
victorious-
How can
I
you guys
literally
not
got
guess
it.
Skull Clamp?
Another victorious round.
Jesus. He's
Who wants to
technically
go
right.
next?
That's the worst part. He did stump
All
me.
right, Commander 2018 Blue Uncommon.
Oh, God, I have no idea.
Is it that enchantment?
Deep Close Gate.
Is it?
No,
It's not that enchantment where the Jace's thing.
make sure I got the right Commander set. Yes, Commander 2018.
Jason, what was Commander 2018?
I don't remember. What was 2018? What was the thing?
I have no idea.
Was that the free spells?
I found this card using data on mtgstocks.com, our sponsor.
Ooh, our sponsor. Get a premium account. Like, you won't know how good the premium is until you get it, and then you're like, how do I live without this?
There's so much good data available.
I'm
Stop
literally
cheating, y'all.
I'm cheating just to see what the cards were in the set. So Commander.
Did this have
2018.
Lieutenant? Is this a Lieutenant set?
It was Yuriko, Lord Windgrace, Eminatu,
Oh, I
Tuasa.
hated those sets.
Those are really
so-
good ones.
So it's what color? Blue uncommon.
Technically, the rarity doesn't matter because they're all the same rarity in those decks, but go off, King.
Oh, is it the Drake then? The Loyal Drake?
Mhm.
Oh, nice. That's a card.
So that card has a really interesting spread of data on it. TCG low is 75 cents. TCG trade-in theory, is $1.20. CK pays 50 cents, and the direct price on it is almost $4.
It's a card for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
Like,
it's quite strong. It also has no reprints ever.
yeah, some of the other ones, the other cycles from around that, yeah,
Yeah.
like the Rhino has been printed like 50 times.
Yeah.
They're
The
great.
red one I think has 1 or 2 reprints, but it's still
Yeah.
pretty good. The red one's actually, I found out, banned as a commander in Pauper EDH.
Cool.
because it counts itself as the commander, and so it makes token every turn. That's just like hard to beat.
Hashtag relevant for later. discussion
Pauper
we're gonna
EDH.
have, yeah.
By the way, seems very cool.
Yeah. We just hired somebody to do Pauper set reviews at Commander's Herald.
Nice.
Is it
Just because,
Derek?
like, hey, nobody's...
It's a good idea.
Commander's Herald is going to be the site where 50 people read a very specific set review. We like.
Well, it's a great idea. Yeah, Commander's Herald is perfect because it's a Magic content website driven almost entirely by content and
memes.
Else. Yeah, like it's really a neat niche, I think, in the community.
Yeah, that guy that was doing the Minotaur set reviews on Reddit, I'm like, just do them here.
Yeah.
I literally just want them to look nicer with images and format. Reading a Reddit post makes my eyes bleed. So if somebody's writing something funny, I don't want to read it on Reddit. I want to read it on Commander's Herald.
I showed the Commander's Herald article about the history of phallic imagery in Magic: The Gathering.
Who's the artist?
What a
Showed that
banger.
Showed that to a Wizards employee, and they were like, "Why? This is terrible. This is the worst thing ever." And I'm like, "This is the best thing.
It's so funny.
This
Who
is
was
an
the
amazing
artist?
piece of content."
Who always drew the penises on like the creatures?
Oh, yeah, Ryan Pancoaster?
No, it's Bliss. Robert Bliss, I think.
Oh, yeah.
All of his guys
Like,
have
even
like little
like
dongles.
Keening Banshee, the negative
Yep.
space is the shape of a deck. Like,
Yep. You get a bunch of them, and apparently that's why he got canned, is what I've heard at least.
because somebody found the secret dicks.
Yeah.
Man, if you get away with it for that long, you win.
There's like 10 of them.
And when they're firing him, he's like, "Do what you must, for I've already won." there are dicks. You'll be finding dicks for years.
You cannot kill me in a way that
Dickens!
matters.
Do you think I would have given? What's the Watchmen quote? Do you think I would have told you my master plan if there was even the slightest chance you could have stopped me?
I put all those dicks on the cards 30 minutes ago.
He's really the Ozymandias of dicks, TBH.
Oh, good for him. Jason, do you have a pick? Do you have a breaking bulk?
I do indeed. It is an uncommon gold. You know what? I'm feeling generous. It's an uncommon gold creature for Modern Horizons.
Is it the unicorn?
It's not.
Soul Herder.
Soul Herder, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good guess. It easily could have been that card, but this is not that. It's neither of those colors. I'm being really generous.
So it's red-black. What was the red-black?
Not necessarily.
Asmore Griffith.
No, it's Modern Horizons 2.
That was
rare.
Modern Horizons. Asmarana Martica Destined Kuldakar is from...
Asmarana Mardic Dice in the Kuldakar.
Get it
Dice
right,
in the
nerd.
Kuldakar?
Yeah, I believe that's how Ethan Fleischer said it. Fleischer?
You don't even know the man's name.
No, but I know how to pronounce
I'm
the thing.
Ethan Fleischer or Flesher, and here's how to pronounce Asmarana Martica Destined Kuldakar.
Yeah, you got it, man.
You got it. That's perfect. Yeah. All right.
It's not.
So it's a red. It's a non-blue, non-white, uncommon creature.
It's a
from Modern
non-green,
Horizons-
non-white.
From Modern Horizons.
Non-green, non-white for Modern
Okay,
Horizons.
non-green,
Not
non-white.
What about Soul
From Modern
Herder's
Horizons
blue-white,
1.
though?
What's that?
Soul Herder's blue-white, though, so...
I thought you said he said the unicorn. I didn't.
I said the unicorn, he said Soul Herder.
Oh, well, it is not green or white.
Okay.
Soul Herder is a good pick too, but that's got a reprint, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Broken though.
It's a busted card.
Isn't there a blue-red prowess creature or something?
There was, but it is not that.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember back to my Modern Horizons.
Well,
stuff.
hey,
So-
it's blue-black. I'll give you some more clues. The more clues I give you...
Oh, is it the ninja that when you deal damage, you draw a card with a ninja?
Ingenious Infiltrator.
Yeah.
nice.
That card's
card's
great.
Cool. I forgot
A
about
2/3 with a ninjutsu cost of black-blue. It's cheap, but it's specific. That's what I like. I like 2 colored pips to be like, hey, it only costs 2 mana, but like it costs these 2 mana. So you're constrained a little bit so they can give you a powerful ninja. Good for that.
It costs Baleful Strix to bring back your... Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
It costs Baleful Strix to bring back your Baleful Strix, so, like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
What was the name of the card, Jason?
Ingenious Infiltrator,
Ingenious Infiltrator. Yeah.
it's a
I remember that
Vedalken
one.
ninja, so like that's why it has like a weird
Yeah.
sciencey name. Ingenious Infiltrator just sounds like a robot rogue or something like that. But
That sounds like the title of a character in Metal Gear Solid 7.
I'm the Ingenious Infiltrator.
What's like, I'm Buttons, the ingenious infiltrator. It's like a robot created by, Semi-Solid Snake or something.
What's Metal Gear? What character in Smash?
Snake.
Snake.
Okay.
They did nerf Snake's big juicy booty though in Smash. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. How's he? He had trouble wiggling under lasers.
Yeah.
So everybody's all hype on Goro Goro and Satoru. But I will tell you for free that the biggest movement from last week to this week actually wasn't Goro Goro. The biggest movement in the March of the Machine Commander decks, I mean. Sidar Jabari got built 3 times as much as last week. It shot up from number 5 to number 2 on the EDH Rec rankings. Goro Goro stayed number 1, but it only went up like 150 decks. Jabari went up like 500 decks. So people want to build a Knights deck with blue, I guess. So go pull all your Knight of the Mists out of bulk. Your Visions Knight of the Mists. Remember that? Remember Visions?
In the spirit of breaking bulk, this card was never exactly bulk, but Kinsbale Cavalier is like $20 now.
Hey, that card's cool. Is it really?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it says
Nice,
it's
baby.
$20. I'm not sure if it's actually sold copies of that number, but
Well, sure.
I had a
I didn't
customer
even
get mad at
realize
me
that.
in Richmond when I offered them our current buy list price based against the new price, and I was like, I can't pay you $20, $15 for your fake $20 card. But
That was a near bulk rare for a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
it's you know what I think. Here's my tinfoil hat theory. Sidar Jabari Zalfir is super popular right now because of Herald of Hoofbeats bringing back horsemanship. I think people are like, my knights get horsemanship? My knights are unblockable, is what that means.
yeah.
So horsemanship is a sweet way to say unblockable. I really liked how horsemanship worked with regular Magic, which is not in any of the ways they intended. So horsemanship is kind of like flying. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to play Roiling Earthquake now so I can kill flyers with an Earthquake. And they're like, that's not what we... riding the Dilu horse just makes my creature unblockable. Cool, I'm just going to do that. And they're like, but... whatever.
I like when weird unblockable mechanics show up in normal Magic. Like Dauthi Voidwalker being playable in Modern, I think is objectively pretty cool. There's being one shadow creature people play.
Yeah, that's true.
They should have given us more. I want Soltari Visionary back. It's not
that
great for
the-
Modern, actually.
What was the 3-mana rare Soltari that pumped your team? That Soltari Champion?
Champion.
I love that card.
That was Stronghold. See, this is my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've lost me for sure. but I'm glad
1998.
Jason's on board.
I went to school and I read Magic content. 1998. You couldn't tell me shit about.
In what, a magazine?
The internet, bro.
The Dojo.
We had oh my god, the Dojo. I was in a Usenet group in 1998.
In 1998, I was reading not Dojo, but Pojo. Pokemon Mag.
I read both of them at various points in 2001-ish when I started. I was a little babby, but yeah, the internet had all kinds of stuff then.
Yep. It wasn't all pornography. This was
Yes,
pre
it
the
was.
entire internet becoming pornography. It wasn't all
There was still a lot of pornography back then.
Oh
It
yeah.
had to, yeah, come on.
But it
Come
was
on.
terrible. Yours a 56K modem, it's 3-second GIF and it takes 2.5 days to download. Not worth it.
I remember using my first file sharing program to download American Pie. That was my big I'm breaking the rules thing.
I think the first thing I got on LimeWire was,
Yeah, it was LimeWire.
I want to say I downloaded Linkin Park's In the End, which is
Nice.
very 2002.
I tried to
don't know.
download Linkin Park's in the end and it turned out being a virus.
Me and my obviously
Linkin
was
Park's in
also-
the end.exe. Sounds good.
.exe. Nice. Very nice, very nice. All right.
My computer's crawling because of the virus.
I used to be very good at virus fixing my computer because it was just sort
you
of a
went to porn
hazard
sites.
of. Well, no, I'd just say was a hazard in the early 2000s. Now it's impossible to get your computer messed up. You ever see anyone's computer just brick because they clicked on a virus? They went to the wrong website? Now that doesn't happen anymore.
Oh, it was, that would, they would send you a million pop-ups. There was an anime website where if you tried to type in the next week's episode, to the URL of it just to try to get it early, it was this thing that just like created so many pop-ups that your computer would crash. That was a 2002 technique. Now it's like, oh, I got to manually close all these windows, and that's a new kind of inconvenient.
I'm just like watching an episode of Naruto. They're like 2002 technique, go. 2002 Jitsu was right there.
Did I tell you it was a Naruto website?
No, I just assumed so. Because like technique is what they call. I've never actually watched Naruto, but I know a lot of people who have.
It's
and they're always just like, it's like, yeah, I'm going to use my fighting fox technique or whatever, and that's why it made me think of that.
It's their
2002 Jitsu.
Their their ninja way.
Next up, this is on topic really. We were talking before the cast about commander cards that we hate. Everyone is familiar with the infamous Skullstorm that got soft banned in my play group back in the day. Jason hates any kind of board wipe, but specifically the card Farewell. Cass, what card makes you commander table flip?
None of them really. I just like don't lose games of commander. It's so easy. No,
By not playing.
Yeah, have you considered not losing?
Yeah, have you considered just like being built different, like skill diff? No, I don't like cards that take people a long time to resolve. Because most people are bad at resolving cards. Like, the only thing that actually gets me angry in a game of Commander is if someone's hanging the game up by, like, taking too long doing something. Because if I lose to a card that's, like, super strong, whatever, we'll just shuffle up and play a new one.
I love to lose a game. That's why I hate Wraths. People are like, hey, he played a card that said you instantly win the game. That pisses me off. No, f*** that. New game. I have 20 decks. I don't want to play one for 4 hours. New game.
I guess I could say I hate the card Heuristic Study because it brings about the dumbest conversations possible.
Do you pay the one?
I tell everyone in my group, and some people are pissy about this because, like, Magic players are piss babies, but, like, my rule is I will never remind you about your Heuristic Study. I will not slow down my turn, but I will also never pay the one.
Yeah.
And they probably draw, like,
only cops pay the
time.
one.
My whole play group pays the one, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and they want to ban Skullstorm. Your play group's insane, dude.
They don't want to give up value.
There's just, like, there's no way to win when someone plays a Heuristic Study that doesn't make somebody upset, and so I just, like, pretend it doesn't exist. It's not my problem. I didn't put the card in my deck.
I don't put it in my decks anymore, because
here's the thing, Jason. My play group, you see, my play group stopped paying the one, and now no one plays Heuristic Study. Or rather, started paying the one, stopped letting people draw cards, and now no one plays Heuristic Study. It's perfect.
I mean, for your play, listen. Anybody who tries to extrapolate anything about the format from their play group,
understand. How dare you fact check?
But everybody does that though. It's not. You're doing a bit, but like you're reminding me that the discourse actually blows.
Yeah, it is true. Everyone thinks the last game they played is the
but it's so
format.
funny when they're like, "Oh, Sheldon only wins this band because he can't beat it with his." No, man, you're telling on yourself. If you think that Sheldon Menery would ban a card because he personally doesn't like playing against it, like you're just telling on yourself that I don't know, right? Is that a complete
you're
thought?
right.
I think that's a complete thought.
I think so.
The actual thought is that most people who play Commander think that they know how to run a format or design a card or do anything related to creating, curating, or distributing Magic, when in reality they know nothing. In fact,
they just know how to make
Magic.
it easier for their pet deck to win, and they think that would make the format better.
It's like every armchair designer who says, I would have designed Ragavan this way, when, like, no, you wouldn't have, because they'd never let you in the design team.
Look,
and you would have f***ed up 13 other cards.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you all in that you're right, but I also have to say, ban Cyclonic Drift. Moving on.
Well...
That's all.
That's kind of why I like pre-DH,
Well, that's what, let's talk about pre-DH exists. Dan is popular these days. People seem to be looking for, I don't want to say the next Commander, but it seems that Commander itself has maybe hit the point of diminishing returns, where people are looking for something else.
Because they're like, oh, Commander's making money. Well, clearly we need to design for it and make products for it, and just like... Just get as much money out of these people as we can before they realize that, they're sick of EDH because we ruined it. Yeah.
It was fun at first, yearly. I remember the first 2 years they did the precons. Each deck was super unique. It did Commander only things because not every card ever printed was designed to be played in Commander at that point. right? Like, and then we hit a nice little schedule of yearly Commander releases that each explored something different. And I thought it was a nice little way to move the format along. Now we're on 3 Commander decks for every set, plus whatever. Like it's just, you literally just inundated with it. So it's just nothing. It's just a completely different level of inundation, and therefore people are looking for something else to scratch the itch a little bit.
If I'm building a deck and a new set comes out, I stop building a f***ing deck. Mm-hmm. So I have a ton of half-finished decks that are sort of like, oh, you have 3 weeks to put this deck together while you do other shit, and then if you don't build the deck in 3 weeks, you're not going to build it at all. It feels so bad to me. Yeah, I haven't built a deck in like 6 months because of it.
Meanwhile, you look at like some of these Commander variants, like Corbin, let me sell you on Pauper EDH in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cyclonic Rift isn't legal. Boom, you're sold.
Yeah.
But it's like Commander, every card is for Commander. Yeah. One of the nice things about being a Legacy player is like maybe 4 cards a set on the high end are for my format. And Pauper EDH, it's kind of similar, right? Like how many good commons are there going to be per set?
That's why PDH, everybody likes pre-EDH, because pre-EDH is before they started designing for the format. It's what it should have been. You take bulk rares out of your binder. You're like, I will never what's this card? Sylvan Primordial?
Okay, that card was broken.
I would never be able to cast that in any other format, but I heard EDH is pretty slow.
Commander ruled when the best decks were Azusa and Joyra.
I remember that.
That's kind of true.
Jorah suspending Blightsteel, and everyone's like, oh no, we're playing Arch Enemy now.
They'd suspend 2 or 3 Eldrazi on turn whatever. And
at the start of lockdown, I joined in on a Commander stream for Magic Online Commander, and I just like played my old Azusa list that I had built on there. And the Azusa list was like last updated in 2016, 2015. And I had a strong start for Azusa. I played fucking some 7-mana creature on like turn 4, and I was just dead on board, basically. Like the format's just so different now. Every card does a million things.
Farewell.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, Jason.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, well, if your deck scoops to Farewell, your deck sucks. And it's like, these are people that are like, my deck doesn't scoop to Farewell because I don't play my Thassa's Oracle until I draw my Demonic Consultation. So, like, cool, you don't like actually...
I think board wipes clearly have a place because...
Don't make it exile!
Resetting the game...
The graveyard.
Well, I get that. I think... Farewell could have had.
Do you hear me complaining about Wrath
options.
of God? I'm not complaining about Wrath of God. I'm complaining about fucking Farewell. I'm not even complaining about Merciless Eviction, which feels bad as an enchantments player. But you're like, there's skill involved. You're like, okay, you can completely take me out of the game, but you won't blow up any creatures. And Farewell, it's like, oh hey, the graveyard, and Farewell might as well strip your hand too while it's at it and like blow up your sideboard. Like, what are they doing?
I was looking at the card Final Judgment this weekend, thinking about it, and it made me think about the Brian Scalabrine LeBron story, where like Wrath of God is so much worse than Final Judgment in terms of like how it impacts the game these days, and like Farewell is just even so much better than that. It's like not even close.
There were like 4 cards in that set worth more than $10, and it's the only non-mythic.
When Farewell came out, I remember thinking it was going to be choose 2 of the 4 modes or whatever, not choose as many as you want.
Oh wait, both sides use non-mythic. Man, I should stop saying shit like I'm looking at data.
And Odawara and Fable the Mirror Breaker.
The
Shut up!
Probably. Yeah.
Shut up! You're bullying me with your facts.
It's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
We got a fact check. Hey, what about Dan, though? Are you all big Dan players?
I'm a fan, yeah.
I actually really like...
Dan's, it's a 4-5 minute game, and it's real and quick and intense. It's
not.
Pure magic.
The way I play it takes like an hour. I actually just I play it to never actually attack. I just want to deck my opponent.
Oh god. Don't you share a deck?
Yeah. It's really
but
strategic.
that's why you have to make sure that they take the hot potato.
Yep. Okay. For me, that's the fun of it. And like, obviously,
I play an hour-long game of Loaded Grenade. Brutal.
But I like what Dan represents and what it sparked off. Actually, the person who kind of repopularized Dan, Braden, in Richmond this weekend was doing a new thing that was started by Andrea Mengucci, which is You have an hour in the convention center and $100 to build a deck with cards you buy from vendors. And the appeal of the format is 4 Soul Rings cost $4. And it was actually really...
That's
It was
so
really
good.
cool.
That's so good.
The first
Great
one,
for vendors, huh?
Braden got like 4 White Plume Adventurers, some Thalias, and then his opponent built like an overburdened control deck and obviously got washed by the initiative creatures. The second time around, Braden built like a Stone Rain mono red aggro deck, and his opponent built Tron, and they went 6-4 in games. And like, it's really cool. And the feature of the format is you get to play with 4 Soul Rings, which just leads to some broken stuff.
See, I mean, that's the point. People will always find new ways to play Magic. So while Commander is the thing right now, and Wizards is pumping the market full of it may not be forever.
But you can't even say Wizards is trying to like just do Commander. Wizards wanted so bad for you to play Brawl, dude. Wizards was like,
Brawl
hey,
was
we're
good,
sick
too.
of people buy cards. They sit in their binder. What if those cards that are sitting in your binder because you can't go in your standard deck
Brawl had some
weren't
stuff
worthless?
going for it. Yeah.
Brawl, they begged you to play Brawl, and everyone's like, it rotates. Boo.
It was
I
kind
played
of fun
Brawl.
online where
Yeah.
the price to actually putting together a deck was pretty low. Not in terms of monetarily necessarily. but
Playing
just like,
playing Brawl is fine. Having Brawl is a pain
Exactly.
because you're
Yeah.
stuff's constantly rotating.
Yeah,
Because everyone's like,
exactly.
I want the best Brawl deck, and not, I have something to do with the rares in my binder. That's good.
The problem with Brawl is that everyone stopped playing Standard in the world at the same time Brawl got created.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like, Brawl was intended to be this format you built with your leftovers from your Standard deck or like packs you won on F&M. And it's easy to build a Brawl deck if you're playing Standard every week and you're building Standard decks. But no one does that anymore because they killed Standard for some reason.
I also like at times Brawl is kind of fun on
Didn't
Arena.
COVID kill Standard?
I think Standard was on its way out. If
It was
not
like the
already
double
gone,
tap, you know?
frankly. Yeah.
But like, people didn't love Standard, but they kind of had to play it. Like,
I mean,
I
they
think it's
have to
good
play it now, and people just did for what it's worth.
yeah,
There's
they
a
just like
900
bought
person
decks and then
RC.
sold them immediately after.
But like, no one would have sold their decks if there was like another Standard event a month from now, right?
Yeah.
And Standard is actually pretty good again. Like, the play
It
design
is.
team stuff is actually really showing that it's kind of the format. It's pretty balanced. Shieldred's probably a little too good, but like, so was Fable. But like, whatever.
It's, yeah, but like the Rakdos Reanimator won the
Yep.
last tournament. Mono White won the regional championship before that. The
Yeah.
format is legitimately very fun. There's a Lessening Toxic as a deck. It's frankly just like too bad that more people don't care about it. But hey, we've got the Pro Tour in about 3 weeks. We'll see, which will be Standard and it'll be fun. We'll see where things go from there. Although
But like,
now
are
pushing
people
up
playing
on
F&M?
rotation.
Like, what's the deal?
Well, now
No.
we're pushing up on like it's going to be May by the time the Pro Tour happens. Rotation is going to be in October. It's going to be the summer. It's going to be kind of a dead time.
It's
I mean,
gonna
it
be
was
when?
not where I would have put the Standard Pro Tour on the schedule. I'll say
Corbin, if you're gonna say it's gonna be May, you can't say it that way.
It's
that.
gonna,
It's
be
gonna be
May.
May.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. It's gonna be time for pick of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
All right, let's finish off this week. Let's do some picks of the week, and I'll start things off with a freebie I'll give you all, and it's Coalesce Apparel and Design. Sponsors this podcast, sponsors a lot of your favorite content creators.
Boom.
It is where you want to go. Look
I
at
have
Jason
so
Schulter
much
right
Coalesce apparel.
there. And design.
Get shirts, get stickers, like get other people's shirts and stickers.
Get a booster pack.
Use the gift code
Yeah.
Brainstorm Brewery for 10% off. We appreciate that, no matter whose apparel you get. So we appreciate
Yeah, that's the
everyone who
great
does
thing
that.
about it. You can use that code over and over, and that makes us look good. I've made multiple orders plus gotten free stuff. Like I wear a lot of Coalesce apparel. The hoodies are comfortable. They're very high quality. When we were doing Teespring, we weren't happy with Teespring. So like we were so thrilled to be sponsored by Coalesce just because the quality's better. You pay a little more, I think.
But you get
but-
a booster pack.
Yeah, you get a booster pack. Plus the content creators have like a scale where they can be like, well, I want to make this much on a shirt. We don't really make that much. We cranked it way down so the stuff would be as affordable as possible. We want you guys to get cheap apparel and stickers and Hoodies. Are hoodies apparel? Of course they are.
Yeah.
Hoodies
Coalesce.
Yet?
Yeah, go ahead and check it out, everybody. Coalesce. We've got awesome new designs of Brainstorm Brewery on there. You can go check out.
I do such awkward pitches because we only are sponsored by stuff we actually like. So I'm like, but I actually like Coalesce apparel. But
I actually had a moment with my fiance this week, I guess yesterday, where it was like they bought a t-shirt that says Brain Genius on it at the same time I bought my Ristic Studies shirt, and the Brain Genius shirt is just like shredded and horrible, and the Ristic Studies shirt's just like brand new. So
nice. Perfect. There you go, everybody. He doesn't get a better pitch than that because it's real.
It's true.
All right, let's do pick of the week. I'm looking forward to going back to Ixalan, where we will find some merfolk. But my pick this week is a dinosaur. This card has already been climbing some over the past year and a half. Over the past couple months, it's risen from about 2 to about 250. And going back to Rivals of Ixalan with more dinosaurs, I'm looking at Temple Altosaur. It has not been reprinted anywhere. It's a white rare. It's 5 mana, 3/4. Prevents damage to another dinosaur you control. You prevent all but one of that damage. So extremely powerful. If Enrage comes back as a mechanic in Ixalan, obviously that would be good. But just we've seen Gishath moving as well.
Well, there's a new dinosaur commander.
Yeah. Like dinosaurs are just going to keep going throughout the rest of the year. So Temple Altosaur is a nice cheap one.
It's
right now.
Altosaur. I have a kind of like penny stock here. It's like not quite bulk. It's like $250 on Card
pick.
Kingdom, $150 on TC. Oh, I would love if I stole your pick. Determined Iteration.
Mine's way better than that.
Is it?
I don't know.
That's
when to talk shit.
Determined Iteration is starting to pop up in a lot of red decks. You populate and then the token has haste. So either you're making a treasure and it's good that it has haste because you're going to sacrifice it, or you just make a creature and smack them with it. The token gets sacrificed at the beginning of the next end step, but that's fine. Determined Iteration is going to get you copies of your Wormcoil Engine or something you brought back with Feldon, or it's just like a creature token. A free repeatable, you just populate whenever you want, and then the token's pretty rad. For 2 mana, seems real good. And Goro and Satoru is the number 1 precon deck, so like it's in over a third of those. So anytime I see something like that it's good, plus there's some new hotness that uses it a lot, I kind of think people like they're not buying the singles of it because the set was so recent, but they're going out and they're building this stupid deck now, so good for them.
The graph on this one in TG Stocks looks pretty good. Very gradual climb over the past couple months from $1 to about $1.50. So right there about to spike, it looks like.
Yeah, that was pre Goro demand was doing that, so it already was on a nice trajectory before. So anything that won't hurt can only help.
That's right. All right, Cass, get the honors going last to finish it off.
So it's not often I get to say this, but I think my pick of the week is tied to a deck that will break a format.
Woo! Let's go.
Sweet sassy molassie.
It is Retraction Helix from Journey into Nyx. The combo is you target Rona, the new one, with Retraction Helix.
Yeah.
You tap your Mox or your Mox Amber for blue mana. Rona bounces the Mox Amber. You play the Mox Amber and you untap Rona. Repeat to infinite blue mana. If you have a Tyvar in play who can also buy back Rona and give her haste, you then can use your infinite blue mana plus your Amber to start making green and black mana with Tyvar, and then bounce Tyvar over and over again, milling your deck, putting Thassa's Oracle into play. All of these cards are Pioneer legal. Tandy, I think, is the person who was building with it most recently. And people in the replies and Tandy himself were saying the deck kind of feels like Inverter power levels.
Ooh.
And the card is kind of low on supply. It has a couple reprints, but multiple playsets have sold recently. And the buy-in's super cheap, and foils especially are under $1.
Yeah.
Everybody
should know that because they should be watching Tandy because we sponsor Tandy.
It's true. Tandy's great.
It's true. Agreed on all points.
Great. It's one of my favorite streams to lurk in, TBH. Just kind of chill. Good vibes.
Do some liking. Some light stalking. Just don't send him a creepy DM about how you're jealous of his hair and you can lurk without causing a problem. Just horrifying this community.
Yeah, it is sadly.
Oh, well, hey, I'm not immune from it because I had an Amazon package delivered to my front door that said, delivered by a BSB patron. I was like, ha 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 ha, ha. That's cute because he's a patron and like he's got a parasocial relationship with me. But also, he's like, I know where you live.
I accidentally doxed myself this week. I posted cute pictures of my kid with magic cards. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it had an address in the shipping label. So several people alerted me to the fact I doxed myself. Whoops.
Goodness gracious.
Whoops. DJ wasn't here to do it for me. I did it myself.
DJ only ever did light doxing. He didn't post somebody's entire
doxing.
address. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corbin's social security number is 105.
I like that guy's like, my LifeLock security is so good. Here's my social security number, and his identity was stolen multiple times.
Yeah, nice try, but that was pretty good. All right, speaking of pretty good, I would say this was a pretty good podcast. We crushed it this week, as usual. But hey, props to the three of us this week. And
we crushed it, but not like a beer can. Don't crush your beer cans. Give them to me. That's 10 cents. But not if you crush it.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. As always, we appreciate everyone who supports us, who supports our sponsors, who goes to patreon.com/BSB and joins the Patreon or the Discord. Everyone who goes to youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery, hits that subscribe button, watches on there. JJ does a lot of work to make it look great on YouTube. But not to mention our thumbnail editor does an amazing job, and that artwork should be seen.
Just give us a subscribe. You don't have to watch us on YouTube. Just give us a little scribbly wibbly. Give us a thumbs down. It counts as engagement.
That is sadly true as well. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
You're trying so hard to get out of this podcast, and I'm like,